Hello, hello. It is Wednesday. Let's put that away. Okay. Happy Wednesday. This is day 3 of Welcome Back week. And today we are doing Master Duel with giveaways. So how it's going to work, hello Panda. How it's going to work is that anyone is welcome to duel. And if people are, if people just want to watch, that's fine too. If we don't have people dueling, I'll probably just hit up some casual duels and some ranked duels, as there is not really an event duel going on right now. Because people can use all sorts of decks, some would be very meta, some would be very fun. It would be unfair to, giveaway by winning or giveaway by losing would be kind of unfair. So in order to make it fair for everybody, what's going to happen is that after every single duel, we will pull this up. And as you can see, there is a giant list of things, from winning to losing to inflicting damage to receiving effect damage, performing exceed summon, link summon, fusion summon, so on and so forth. Your computer's bugged? What's wrong with your computer? I see. And if I have performed, or if something on this, whatever this lands on, let's say in my previous duel, if I lost that duel, if I lost the previous duel, then a giveaway will occur. And if I didn't lose that duel, then unfortunately a giveaway will not happen. So this could mean that there's going to be a giveaway every single match, or if we're unlucky, there might not be a single giveaway for the entire night. That being said, let's do a casual duel just for fun. Actually, ooh, what is this? What is this? It starts on March 1st. Wait, it starts tonight? Ooh. Yo, these are protagonist decks. So we got Jaden Yuki's Hero Fusion deck. From a glance, it looks very weak. Doesn't even have super polymerization. We got Stardust, so it's that Yusei's deck. It has Quasar. That's just unfair. Okay, this is just unfair. Okay. And then when we got Utopia. So this is Yuma's deck. It has Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. So it is pretty solid. But I would actually assume that the Stardust Bond is the strongest of the three. I don't understand. Detailed rules. There's no detailed rules. There's event information. You can do as many times as you like. A reward pack can only be earned once. It is not earned every 3 wins. Is this PST? Yeah, this is PST. So this event happens in 15 minutes. Sprites of Miracle. So we get 1 pack for winning 3 times. There's nothing special that I'm trying to pull from that, but hey, a free pack is a free pack. Out of these 3 decks, I definitely would go for the Stardust Bond or Unfaltering Wings of Hope. The Hero deck is kind of weak, in my opinion. Like, what are the odds that you can bring out Elemental Hero Divine Neos? Very, very unlikely. Watch me get destroyed by this card in my first game. I will be using the Stardust Bonds because Yusei is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. By far, without a doubt. Anyways, the duel room. Okay, sure. Is your replay made public? Nice, nice, nice. All right, let's take a look at your replay. Should I do them? I should do them all, or just for this room today. Up to you. 6 turns. All right, let's take a look at these replays. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? That's the second. I can't pause. Watch Karibo first? Okay, okay. Alright, well, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Okay, so... You know this morning when you asked me what card did people rage quit on? I actually thought of after. I thought of Marshmallow. But now that I see Meteon, it kind of makes sense too. Alright, let's see. Set 1. Set 3. Alright, you're up against a Pendulum deck. That's the Pendulum just activated a spell and did nothing? Oh, what is this? I hope you activated Max C on a proper timing. Okay, bruh. Okay, so we got Marshmallow on burn. Max C did nothing. Are you just gonna like chill here and just... Let's see. Alright, so Pendulums start to make their plays. 2 Pendulum spells. They changed their scales for some reason. Okay, we got 3. Wow, okay, a lot of Pendulum monsters summoned out. Is that a Link summon? Link 3. Power Code Talker. Negates your Marshmallow. Okay. I see, and then Meteon goes in and sweeps. And Royal Decree. Meteon goes in. Sweeps. Okay, they're not gonna attack you again, are they? They're not gonna attack into Meteon, right? Alright, so did I go for a Pendulum summon? Wow, it's a... And they attack Meteon! Why would they attack? Why would... No! Well, that doesn't really change anything. Alright, Meteon gets shuffled into the deck. You're gonna Moon Mirror Honest? Oh no. Can't believe you're Moon Mirrored Honest. I go for another Pendulum summon. It's a lot of monsters. And they go for... Is that access code? Yeah, it's access code Talker, right? Oh wait, what is this? Rastered Liger? Check one Link monster, gain attack, tribute, 0.2. That is not a very good card. Oh my gosh, Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read! No! Oh my gosh, this is so dumb! Oh my... Oh. For those that don't know, Moon Mirror Shield will automatically change your attack to 100 higher than whatever is attacking you. So you'll never be able to destroy it by battle. You see, if they just went... Okay, I can't check. Okay, if they just went for access code Talker... Okay, if they just went for access code Talker, they could have popped your Honest and just attack. I don't think I can check their... I don't think I can check their, Let's see, can I check their extra deck? Yeah, I can't check their extra deck. Hold on, let me see. Maybe I can check their profile. Yeah, I can't check... I'm just saying, Access Code Talker would have solved that easily. Alright, let's watch the second one. That was very, very questionable. I mean, yeah, I understand, but still, like, once you read it once, wow, that's a really brick hand. Okay, you know, I know that you set to intimidate, but this is not a good play. If anyone runs Harpies, Feather Duster, which almost every single person does, or if anyone activates Lightning Storm, which you run, you'll lose all that. Alright, you're up against a Blue Eyes deck. I'm a bronzy. Give me one month and I'll be back at bronze as well. Alright, Sage. Is that Sage? Sage with Eyes of Blue adds Effect Veiler? Set 4? Lightning Storm, right? You're activating Lightning Storm? Bruh! Why you don't activate Lightning Storm? Why you don't activate Lightning Storm? You can pop their entire back row. Okay, it's a level 9 Synchro. Azure? Or Silver? Silver. Spirit Dragon, okay. And then Azure. Yeah, okay. I don't really think that was a good play on their end. There we go, Lightning Storm. You think he knows what he's up to? Meteion, bounce everything back. Wait, did you just bounce Ash back to your hand? Oh my gosh! That is so busted! Oh my gosh, this is so weird. This is so weird. Moon Mirror on... Oh my gosh. You know, you could have Monster Reborn. Oh no, you can't. You could have Monster Reborn first. You normal summon Monster Reborn. Right? Yeah, I know, I know. Well played, well played. Oh. I need... We have 5 minutes. Do you want a duel? I kind of want to do... I want to do the duel trial, just for fun. Alright, we're gonna duel... I don't know what deck to use. Pick one. Pick one. Some decks don't work, like they're incomplete. I'll tell you if Sushi? Okay. Alright, let's go. Sushi. We be doing sushi up in here. I got one shot last time. Actually, I one-shot a sushi mirror this morning. I went up against another sushi deck and I one-shot them. And then I took a look at their profile. Turns out they're running like number wall sushi. It was kind of like, it was dirty. Like, it's like a disrespect, you know? Disrespect on the sushi. Okay, okay. What you got? What you got? You got nothing. I activate Max C. Give me them shine balls. You know you need more. You know you need more. Why stop here? That's right. That's right. Go for it. Bring them shine balls, you know? It's just a few more cards that I get to draw. It's no biggie. Gotchi? Okay, okay. Alright, let's see. I don't know what your back row is. Infinite impermanence to stop your... Oh, it's something that could be activated in response. So it's probably a quick play or a trap. It's not a bluff. Something that you can activate in response. Royal Decree. Okay, okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to activate my shipyard. Why do I feel like you have Maxi as well? You have Maxi, don't you? You want to activate that Maxi, I know you do. Oh. To let you draw or not to let you draw? Yeah, no, you don't get to draw. No drawing for you. You're very dangerous if you get to draw. I'm not risking it. A tribute summon? Tethius? Okay, that's just mean. Bruh. Ow. That's a lot of damage. I'm thinking on how to play this out properly. I activate my Ikura to bring out my rice. And I can stack my rice and Ikura together to make... Oh, I can draw a card too. Nice. Ooh, drew more rice. Perfect. Can bring out my Gunkensu Ship Ikura class Dreadnought. I don't think its attack is high enough though. It is not. But it's okay. I activate my Super Rice to bring it out. And then special summon this. Boom. And then Exceed summon. There we go. That attack is high enough. But I'm not done yet. I activate my Uni. And then I use my Uni to change the level of my rice. So that they're both level 5. Let's add this just to my hand. Just in case something goes wrong. And I do my final Exceed summon. My Gunkensu Ship Dreadnought Super Uni class. Oh hey look, harpies. Boom! I activate its effect whenever... Yeah, it is a one-turn kill. Pew pew! Pew pew! I think the problem... You had Honest? Oh, then I worked my way around it. I think the main problem there was that you let me draw too many cards off the maxi. Anyways, let's bring out the first spin. Is there going to be a giveaway? I did not inflict effect damage that game, unfortunately. So there will be no giveaway. But why is display capture on? Device not oh, okay. You're in Dust Duel trial? I want to try that too. Let's try the Duel trial. And it begins. Rental competition 1. Let's go, Stardust. I like Stardust. High hopes for Stardust. I don't know if that's a person or a bot. But let's go first. Stardust requires to set up. So let's go for it. Wow, this is a very questionable hand. You know what? It's okay. Everyone's deck is slow here. So we're good. We're good. Let me take a look at the extra deck. This is like old school Yusei deck. It even has Majestic Star Dragon, which I don't know if anyone can even bring it out properly. If you want to be really specific, it's going to be very difficult to bring out anything like, say, Shooting Quasar. You need 2 level 5s, which is only 1. So you have to do like a level 5, 2, or a 6, 2, and a 4. It's almost impossible to bring out Quasar. Level 3 plus level 4 equals level 7. Or level 2 plus level 3 equals level 5. Level 1 plus level 3. It's Armory Arm, I guess. Okay. You know what? We're going to go for Hyper Synchron. It's not great, though we kind of need it. Oh, I'm up against Jaden. Okay, okay, they take no battle damage. It's not like I'm attacking anything else after. I should add to the list of win of the roulette, like getting one turn killed or performing a one turn kill. You know what? I'll do that. I will do that. I wonder if this works though. N-O-T-K occurred. Okay. I don't know if that works. But let's... Oh, it worked. Okay, cool. I go for the Monster Reborn. Wait, they this. Oh! Okay, this is. I'm about to take a lot of damage. I'm about to take a lot of damage. Okay, okay, okay. Ow. It's okay. I'm gonna take this directly. It does piercing too. Oh, that's so much damage! Unfortunate. But it's okay. I believe in the heart of the cards. At the end phase, I activate Miracle's Wake to bring back Hyper Synchron. Okay. They're all tuners though. Need a non-tuner. Why is everything a tuner? Everything I have here is a tuner. This is not good. I feel like I didn't play that right. I should have brought back level warrior because then I would still be able to perform something. We're gonna set that. We're gonna take damage big time. You say don't let me down. Come on. Don't let me down. Alright, let's see what you got. They sure are taking a long time, though. Skyscraper? Do I have an out to Skyscraper? Oh man, I'm gonna take so much damage here. That's a lot of damage. That's 2.5 thousand damage. Ow. This is really, really rough. Come on, give me something I can work with. I need a non-tuner in my hand. This Blade Edge card is so annoying. My whole field's tuners. Yeah, same. Okay, I can live one turn. I know I can live one turn. But the question is, what can I do with that one turn? It's not going to do much for me. Everything I have are tuners. So... Also, they take so long. Oh my gosh, can you stop summoning things? If they attack with Blade Edge... Oh, of course they're going to attack with Blade Edge. Alright, half shut. $16. It has to be an attack position, doesn't it? Oh, it has to be an attack position. I'm gonna die. I'm about to take a lot of damage. This is quite unfortunate. Wait, what is this? An attack position? Oh man, would take a lot of damage. Ow. Well, let's go for the second round. So, in that last duel, did I... Did I win? No, I did not win. Alright. That was rough. Alright. You know what? That was warm-up. Second time's the charm. Oh, yikes. That was rough. Okay. Alright, we got this. 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 Okay. I can work with this. I can work with this. Yeah, same was my dude. I kind of get it though. I feel like people take so long because they don't really know these decks, you know? I'm gonna end my turn. You know what? I feel like I might start like going second instead. If I go tuning, if I go 1-for-1. What deck were you up against? Oh, I'm up against you got Blade Edge. Did my enemy just activated Swords of Burning Light and then... Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Boom ba boom boom ba boom ba boom boom ba da 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 Where's my tuning wear? You don't even have tuning wear in the deck? What is this? Oh my gosh. Oh. Why? Why does it not have tuning wear? Oh man. Oh, this is rough. This is so rough. Yusei's deck is questionable. There's so many cards that are missing. Okay, they're gonna run down my Max Warrior. Kage no Kage. Oh, they're bringing out their boss monster already. This is bad. You know what? Maybe I should use Yuma's deck. I feel like it's a lot more consistent. Can't believe they bring out the boss monster just like that. Okay. They ranked up? Oh no, 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 no. Utopia Leo Ray. That's so busted. That's so busted. That's actually so busted. Ah. Yuma is the protagonist from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. The Utopia user. That's a lot of damage. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Does this... negates an effect, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully they don't negate my draw. I really want them to not negate this. Please don't negate this. Please don't negate this. Okay, it's just draw a card. Don't do this to me. The future of hope. Formula Synchron. Don't negate this. Please do. No, oh my gosh, you gotta negate this. You monster. Okay, you know what? Bruh. You got one negate. You blew it. Okay, you got one negate. Alright. Level 6. Level 6. The credits an attack on a level 6 or higher, half the attack. Okay, that doesn't really help me there. You know what? Let's go for this. Let's see what happens when I bring this out. Boom. And then double summon. I'm burning my entire hand for this. Shield Wing. Go. Alright. Level 6. Level 4 Armory Arm. 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything is so specific. Everything needs something. There's nothing I can summon. You say. Why is your deck so questionable? Why? You know what? You know what? We go out with a bang, okay? We go out with a bang. It's okay. That was so sad. That was actually so sad. Why is this deck so questionable? Alright. I swear I know how to use this deck. It's just that was very unfortunate. Link summon. That did not happen, unfortunately. You know, it is what it is. Third time's the charm, right? Yusei's deck is letting me down so much right now, I can't even. Oh. That's a feels bad. That's a really, really feels bad. Okay, let's see. I'm going second. Okay. Oh, okay. Mirror match. Mirror match. They're gonna go for a formula synchron. In attack position? Bruh. You put formula synchron in attack position? I can run it down with anything. Actually, none of these cards can run it down. Oh. 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 Well, unfortunate for you. You know what? You can play at this game. Let's go. Ha. Okay. So just summon a level 1, a level 2 or lower. So I can probably bring Doppel Warrior? I hope that this deck has Doppel Warrior. Be kind of sad if this deck does not have Doppel Warrior. Level 3. They surrender. You don't surrender when you play as Yusei's deck, okay? That's disrespect right there. That's not cool. Well, I got 1 win. And that still counts as a duel, so let's see. I don't think it's gonna apply. Unless it's like win. I did not link summon again, unfortunately. Alright, game number 2. Or attempted win number 2. Let's see what we got. I'm going first. I don't like going first on this deck. Okay, this is a lot better. This is actually a lot better. I have 15,000 health. Wait, how do you have 15,000 health? Oh, wait, are you running Jaden's deck instead now? It's stronger, isn't it? I didn't know how inconsistent this deck was gonna be. This is the first... Wait, they're not gonna attack me? Oh, because they couldn't. They could not attack me. Um... Max Warrior! Attack their Gagaga Caesar! What is this? Oh. But you still take damage! That's a level 3 monster, which means they cannot exceed out of that. Unless they summon another level 3 monster. I like these slow decks. Level 4. You can't summon anything out of this. Pass turn. Pass turn. Let me attack you. Please. Pretty please. That's right. You end your turn. It is my turn. I draw. Ooh, jump barrage. Um... 5, 7. I misplayed. I misplayed. I should have summoned something, attack, so they would have no monsters on their field. But now they have 2 monsters on the field that are very likely to be both level 4, which means they can go for Utopia. And here it is, Utopia. It's okay. Please don't have rank up. Please don't have rank up. Please don't have rank up. Oh, what? Astral Force? That is... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, you know what? Yuma has the strongest deck right now, I think. Oh! Look at this dude! They want to hit me with 6,800! Too bad. Negated. 0! No damage. Though... Do they have a... Okay. Okay, let's go for 1 for 1. Wait a second. Target one face up exceeds monster you control, and when Utopia monster in your graveyard, banish the first target. Wait a second. You can't touch my Sonic Chick. You actually cannot touch my Sonic Chick. If I normal summon this, that wouldn't really help. I'm gonna end my turn here. Please don't have another monster in your hand. Please don't have another monster in your hand. That's right. Nothing. Okay, okay, okay. If a Stardust monster is in the field, trigger one card in the field, destroy it. This thing can negate a trap, I think. Oh, it doesn't negate. Can't target that monster with card effects. Okay. I'm gonna set this just so I need it in the graveyard. Can I get like a marshmallow in this deck? That'd be great. They're gonna attack my face down. Tuning? Tuning is in this deck? Okay, okay. It's not the end of the world then. Is that a dragon type? I don't have a dragon type in... Hmm. Level... Let's do that. Shielding is in my graveyard. If I go for quick draw, I can bring level 6. Level 6 would be drill. Hmm. Three would bring back Shield Wing. It'd be level 5. Level 5. Would be Junk Warrior, but Junk Warrior is not enough to take on Utopia, or any of Utopia for that matter. I'm gonna end my turn here and hopefully I don't die. I need a monster that I can discard. So I can bring out quick... No, it's not good. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. 1900. Still can't touch me. Can't touch this. Nah, 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 nah. Can't touch this. Target one face-up equipped spell card you control. Destroy the equipped spell card. Okay. Sure. Goodbye, your back row. Whew. Oh wait, it's just face down. What is that face down card? Bye-bye damage. Okay, well that was kind of anticlimactic. I thought it was all their spell trap. All face down spell traps. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read. I need to draw into a monster. If they draw into a... What did they... They forgot the effect of Max Warrior! When Max Warrior attacks, it gains attack. And because of that, it won't be able to pop my Sonic Chick, because Sonic Chick can't be destroyed by anything over 19. Or they can go for Gaga Cowboy, and that is just... That's just mean! That's mean. Okay. That's mean. Wow. Okay, you know what? The Yuma deck is just better. What can I draw? Stardust. There's really nothing I can do here. Alright, we're gonna make a play. The play is very limited. There's nothing I could do here. Ching! And then... Bye. That was rough. Okay. Ooh, so close. I did not exceed summon. Alright. Can we go back to 0? Or... Okay, at least we don't have to stop. Okay. If I lose one more as Yusei's deck, I'm gonna have to switch decks, because the decks are not balanced. They really aren't balanced. So far, Yuma's deck looks the most consistent, as the word. Okay. A slightly better hand. It's actually not balanced. Wait, with whose deck? Utopia. Yuma's deck, I see. Utopia got really, like, buffed, like, a lot with the new cards. But I believe in the heart of the Curds. I believe in the heart of the cards. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna win this duel. We have Hedgehog, which is really good. And we also have Doppel Warrior, which is really, really good. And I'm up against a Utopia deck. No biggie. No biggie. Let's see. Alright, let's go. I don't know what that back row is. I'm a little bit scared, but you know what? It's okay, because I got tuning. The correct card to go for tuning is Junk Synchron. Junk Synchron, summon, effect. Bring back Shield Wing. Doppel Warrior effect triggers. Special summoning itself. And then I can bring back Cobalt Hedgehog. Go for Junk Warrior. I actually really like Junk Warrior as a card. It's really cool, you know? Junk Warrior's effect, Power of Fellows. I know that because I watched the anime. Ooh, look at that. Big damage. Come on, let this go through. No, what is this? Okay, half battle damage. My attack is permanent though, so it's not too bad. Alright, let's see what they got. I need another tuner. Oh no, here they come. Rank 4, Utopia. Number 39, Utopia. I swear they're gonna activate like some rank up magic and it's just gonna wipe me. These decks are not balanced. The Utopia deck is just a lot better right now. Rank up magic? Rank up magic? Oh! Utopia Ray. Okay. Rank up magic? Rank up magic? If they didn't have rank up magic, it would have actually been... Oh, that rank up magic. There we go. Utopia Ray Leo? Utopia Leo Ray? The rank 5... The best Utopia rank 5 so far. Yep, Leo Utopia Ray. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. Hmm. 4,500. Oh my gosh, can you not? This deck is just unfair. 6,500 attack. And I'm about to take that, like... It's a lot of damage. Okay, let me think about this. It doesn't matter. This card's going to die. I need to keep Junk Warrior on the field, so I'm going to take a lot of damage. But that monster is safe. Okay. Wait a second. Hold up. I might be able to do something here. Level 7 Nitro. Huh. So this only gives me attack by 1,000. It's not even close to that. If I synchro summon for this, I might be able to draw into something. I don't think I'll be able to do much, but... Maybe I can draw into like quick draw synchron. Miracle's Wake. That didn't do anything. Well, unfortunate. Unfortunate. You know, it do be like that sometimes. Alright. This deck is just really difficult to use. It's just not consistent enough. Alright, let's see. In that previous match, did I Link Summon? Nope. I know it keeps coming back up, but it's just RNG. Alright, we're changing decks. We're changing decks. We're gonna use the Utopia deck. We're gonna use the Utopia deck. Should be a lot easier. You see, I'm okay with having different archetypes, but I feel like when your deck is not as consistent, you're just gonna have a very, very rough time. I have not been able to pull out any big synchros so far. You know? Gaga Ghost can bring out Golem, Gaga Mancer. Turning a target one Gaga in your graveyard. There. I like Yusei, and I absolutely don't like Yuma. But the deck right now, the deck that we're given, The Yusei deck is just not consistent enough to... What is this? Interesting. Left or right? Someone pick left or right. Left? Alright. I think this is a Stardust deck. Negate attack. Okay, it's definitely not the Stardust deck. Oh! Well, that is mean. It's okay. It's okay. Ooh, Gaga Gardener. I actually really like this card. Hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? We're gonna normal summon Gaga Gardener. The effect isn't that important right now. We're using it as a Xyz material. Bring out... When another monster you control is targeted from an attack while this card is in position, you can change this to face of defense, and if you do, change the attack to this card. That is not great. Let's go for Utopia. Because why not? You're running a Utopia deck, so you bring out Utopia. Also, I realized that this deck only has one Utopia, so if Utopia goes bye-bye, you're not gonna have a good time. But the thing is, Utopia in itself is a very defensive Xyz monster. It has the abilities to protect itself, therefore making it unable to easily be destroyed. It's kind of like Stardust Dragon, but Stardust Dragon is a lot harder to bring out so far as we have seen. Okay. It's okay, 300 damage? That's fine. Because I drew a rank up magic, which means it's game. Alright, so... if you control a Gaga monster other than Gaga, click, you can special summon this card. Yeah, why not, right? And then... let's go for... let's just go for a big play, you know? Let's go for a big play. Utopia Ray. Rank up magic, Numeron Force. This negates all the effects that are face up on the field outside of the card I'm currently ranking up, so my Utopia is fine. Obviously, you go for Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. It's just better. It's just better than the other Utopias. You activate Utopia's effect. Detach. And they surrender. Alright. Well, a duel has ended, so... let's go. We won. Oh! Oh, a giveaway is happening. A giveaway is happening. Okay. So, anyone who's interested in the giveaway, do exclamation mark play to join in. Wait, Vlad, would you like to join in on the giveaway? I don't know if they're still there. Move my wheel down, please. I can hide the wheel. There. For those that are entering right now, a giveaway will be happening in 2 minutes. Feel free to do exclamation mark play to have a chance at winning the giveaway. This is the first giveaway of the night. It will not be the last. And I got 50% chance. Easy points for you. Oh, Ghoul is in. Panda, you only have a 33% chance now. Give Panda a challenge, indeed. I'm just gonna set up the third duel just because I don't like this event. Well, I like this event, but I feel like it's too easy, you know? I finished all 3. Yeah, you just have to win 3 times. And when you're using Yuma's deck, it's just a lot stronger. Using Yusei's deck is difficult. Gaga Golem, Gaga Bolt, Rank Up Magic, Memory Loss. Alright, in 15 seconds. And we are off. Oh, you missed it by just like 2 seconds. Is this once a day? I don't know. But as you can see in the back, I won a duel. They surrendered. I don't even know why. Can I check which deck they used? Oh. Hold on. I'm gonna hide marbles for a second. Let's see what we got here. Elemental Hero Neos. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to our marbles. Currently in first place is Panda. Oh, well, actually everyone's tied. Panda drops down first. I know. Ghoul falls off, unfortunately. And I fall off. Dude, okay. What happened to... It's supposed to be a challenge. Are you going to make it to the end? Asking the real questions. Just watching and chilling. Oh. Alright, moving on. Are you gonna fall out the map is the real question. Pew pew! Oh, no? Seems so okay. So good. So far so good. Building up a lot of speed. Oh! Oh, you slowed down. Congratulations! Winning by the only person alive. Alright. I'm gonna do a random track while we bring up the second... So this is for the match just now. Alright. Let's see. The only one that would work is if I won. Xyz Summon, I did not even get to go, so... Unfortunately, that is not the case. Anyways. Would you like to duel more? Got a notification? Why do I have a notification? Oh, it's just the event is underway. I like the event, but I really feel like the decks are very not balanced. Read it? Read what? No. It's, you can only claim it once in total. Reward packs can only be earned once per event. Yeah. But this is, I think this is something new that they're trying out. That's why the duration is only 4 days. So I'm assuming every week there'll probably be a new duel trial. Let's see. Yeah, see? Every week. See, March 9th to March 12th, March 30th to April 2nd. So that's cool, actually. Basically, every week you get a free pack in addition to all the free stuff that you already got. Should I finish my deck if you want? Would you like to duel more? If you don't want to duel, that's okay. I can just go duel, I'm gonna open 10 packs of Rika. Then I will do a casual match. Ghoul, since you're here, pick a deck. Any deck that... I think the dark side isn't working. Yeah, that deck doesn't work. Budget, discard, Sushi, Harpies, Dogmatica is also incomplete, unfortunately. You know what? Well, I will fix up the Dogmatica deck right now. I will fix it up right now. I will fix it up right now. The deck definitely needs work, but if we don't have it, we don't have it. If it's rare, we can craft it. Ding. If it's rare, we craft it. Ding. If it's super rare or ultra rare, we don't touch it. Do 2 of these. And 2 of these. I need Fallen of Albaz. I'm pretty sure I have one. Fallen of Albaz. I do not have Fallen of Albaz. I can't even run Mirror Jade then. It's okay. There. A very, very super budget that I don't even know how to run. I do not know how this deck works. But it works. It works. Like, it works as in we can use it. Alright, we're gonna try it in a casual duel. It is not a very good deck. But that's the deck you chose. That's the deck we're using. Dogmatica. Such a bad deck. Oh, man. Don't even have a warrior for a target. There's so many things that are missing in that deck. It's a challenge. It is indeed a challenge. No. This is casual. I'm just going to have fun. It's fine. I want to go second because I need all the advantage that I can get. Also, this allows me to read the cards. Gotta take that time to read the extra cards. Alright, what does this do? If a monster special summon from the extra deck is on the field, you can special summon this card. If you target one face of the monster in the field outside from the extra deck, it gains 600, and if it does, the target loses 600. If exceeds blah blah blah, you can spell summon from your hand, and discard spell summon from the hand, you can target one Dogmatica. An opponent... Oh, it's a hero deck! Okay. You can ritual summon this. If you spell summon one ritual monster and no other cards, blah. Okay, cool. We're just gonna give them like 5 minutes to play out their turn, because heroes take quite a lot of time. Is that alternate fusion or fusion substitute? Yeah, I see. It's a wind and a warrior. Sunrise! Oh, it's the fancy sunrise! Panda, you have one of these. Highest rarity of sunrise. Look at that prismatic whatever it's called, like royal finish or something. You have Miracle Fusion, and you can bring out another fusion monster. Do you have a quick effect? You don't have a quick effect. Skyscraper. Why is your Skyscraper fancy as well? Why is this person's deck so fancy? Miracle Fusion. Another Sunrise? You level 2. You wouldn't go for another Sunrise. You go for another Sunrise. Why would you go for 2 Sunrises? Sunrises? Sunrises. Right? Is that the plural for sunrise? Sunrises? Okay, I don't know how to use this deck. I just know I can special summon this. Okay, what are your effects? At attack, you can target one card in the field, destroy it. Huh. This is not gonna be fun. I'm about to lose my monster, and probably my back row as well. Yep. and my turn just ended there. It's not your fault. It's my own fault for not completing this deck properly. Let me special summon something. Ding! And then I can add this card to my hand. When a opponent's guy can make all monsters, you gain 500 attack. Bruh, you could just go for game, okay? When attack is declared involving another hero, which they have, they're just gonna pop this monster. Why would you... Another Sunrise? Why? Whatever this does, I guess. Ding ding. I don't die here, surprisingly. I don't know. They could have ended it last. If they played it properly, they could have ended it. Okay, okay, okay. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? We got our ritual spell. Okay. 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 I'm gonna special summon this card. Boom. I'm gonna activate the effect. So I gain. Yep. I activate my ritual spell, ritual summoning my ritual monster, and I send... I guess I can send that to the grave. I ritual summon Dog... I don't even know what that card was. White Relic of Dogmatica. If this card is ritual summoned, you can target 2 monsters in the field. Make one of those monsters gain attack equal to the other. Oh yeah! I got a lot of attack. They're just gonna pop this card. Yeah, they're gonna pop my card. Wah, wah. Oh man. Oh, I should have put Theo in defense mode. Actually, it wouldn't have made a difference, because when they declare an attack, they can just pop this card. Stop summoning things! I have 1200 life points! Oh my gosh. Disrespect. And I'm gonna pop my card. See, why did I even summon things? There was no reason for it to summon anything. Alright, we're bringing up the list. Let's go. Spin! Oh, that was close. That was close. I did ritual summon. I did ritual summon that game. Unfortunately, I did not win that duel. So, on to the next one. Panda, are you still pulling cards? I should fix up my Dogmatica deck. I like using new decks, but that deck needs a lot of work. Like, a lot of work. Dogmatica. We need this. We need that. Whatever that is. You know what? I don't remember what was... I honestly don't remember. Hold on. I'm gonna make a copy of it. Copy. I'm gonna name the copy the Budget Dogmatica. So the Budget Dogmatica is whatever I have. Budget Dogmatica. And then we're gonna go to the regular Dogmatica, and we're gonna fill it up properly. Dogmatica. So ultra rare means you probably need 3 of them. You know, super rare means you probably need 3 of them. Let's do that. That. And then that. I need a warrior that I can use for Miracle Synchro Fusion. Fallen of Elbaz. Is there a warrior here? Dragon. Dragon. These are all dragon spellcasters. Okay, so I do need to run Fallen of Elbaz, right? Oh! This is dark! These are all lights. If I run triple Fallen of Elbaz, I can run Black Luster Soldier. Right. Black Luster Soldier. Envoy of the Beginning. You ready? Okay. All right. Which deck should I be using? Some of these are not ready, so unfortunately not all of them will work, but pick something. Budget Dogmatica, discard, Sushi, Harpies, Counter Fairies, Chain Beat, Melody, Heretic Beatdown, Draco Monarch, Normal Summon, Declare Attack, Banish Heal, Waking the Dragon. Oh, Waking Dragon's not ready. Spooky Cuties, DD Burn, Cyber Dragon, Raid Raptors, and Xyz. Pick one. I need to clean up. I really need to clean up my... Just choose something not too OP. My first game. Okay. You know what? I'll use my Budget Dogmatica and see what happens. Alright, let's go. We're gonna use a really, really, really bad, like, unready deck. Let's see what happens. Let's go, let's go. We are ready to go. I'm gonna jump in chillin' room. Let go, come on.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
I just need 1 minute. I'm almost done.
1
I
minute.
changing accessories.
What? Bro, get
Cause
in
they,
here.
cause it matters.
Does it? Does it matter?
Let's go. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Let's
I'm on my way.
go.
I'm still gonna lose this.
No. My budget Dogmatica deck is very
Wait,
questionable.
wait, wait. Wrong deck. What is this? So I gotta choose a deck. Ah, I see. Before going in there? Wait.
Yep.
Change deck. Okay, got it. And I left the room. Okay.
Let's go.
Whew. Game 1.
Place your bets, everybody.
No, I don't think you need to.
Dude,
Incorrect.
my deck is trash.
This deck is scuffed.
No. My deck is incomplete, so... I removed everything that I don't have. And I just threw everything that I have. A lot of the cards are dead cards. Hmm. This card in the field is destroyed. So just summon. Okay.
Wait. What does this card even do? If you do negate it,
If a monster is final summoned from your opponent's extra deck, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and send one monster from it to the graveyard.
What? From your main... What? Okay.
Ritual summon one to
actually
monster
don't...
from your deck.
I have no idea what this card is
monsters
for.
or ritual illusion. Synchro from your field whose level equals if this card is in your graveyard can banish.
Oh no, what is this card for?
Bro, I need you to summon something. I need you to summon something, man. What is this? Players cannot activate that monster's effects. I don't need to activate effects. I just need to attack you.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know what this card is for. Crossout Designator.
Crossout Designator? I told you not to run it.
I know, but it says...
Crossout Designator is, it's a quick play spell where you declare a card that you have in your deck, okay?
Yeah.
And basically,
banish.
neither of us can use that card.
What would it be for?
Maxi. Ash Blossom. A card that we both run, right? Like, if you don't want me running Dark Hole, you can cross out Dark Hole.
Okay, let's see. Will it tell us what we have?
Well, you have to have it. But wait, no. Okay, do you know this is... Crossout Designator is till end of turn, by the way. Not for the entire duel.
Oh. Oh, I think I know what it's for.
So if I activate Maxi, you can activate Crossout Designator, you declare Maxi, but you have to...
No. I can declare any... As long as I have it in my deck, I can declare it.
Yeah. But...
And
unless...
until end of turn?
Yeah. It's a really powerful card, but it's very difficult to use.
Card.
No, it's not. Okay, you banish that. Does that card have a banish effect?
Yeah.
But does it have to be when this card is...
Anyways, I have no idea what I did.
Wait, you banish this card... This card doesn't have a banish effect.
I don't think any of the cards do. It's just for it's. I think that's specifically for a card.
No, no, Crossout Designator is a counter hand trap, essentially.
Oh, I see. It's a field spell.
If you control a Rika monster, you can set one Rika spell trap directly from your deck. Target one.
Oops. I activated by accident.
Wait, you have
Oh,
two of these?
Yeah, activated by accident. I tribute.
That's just mean! That's so mean! What did you do? Can't believe you tributed my monster. That's so mean.
What's this?
When a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, Dogmatica activates. I am all about dealing with the extra deck.
Wait, but I can activate it now.
Yeah. You would tribute yourself.
Oh my god. Thanks for telling me after I clicked it.
You already activated it when you asked.
Yeah.
But thank you for the free monster. Cha-ching! You can also tribute one, blah blah blah. So you are a very tribute heavy plant-based deck. Did you pull Teardrop or did you get Teardrop?
What? I pulled all 3 teardrops.
I see. I activate Dogmatic Liturgy.
Corgi?
I don't know what this does. Oh, okay, I didn't think this through. I didn't think this through! Oh, man.
The blunders. Wait, what? What do you even think this through? Is it because it has 500 attacks? You're like...
What does this do? You can just summon this, you can now special summon from the... If your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send one. If your opponent activates a card or effect, which you haven't, this card gains attack until the end of this turn.
So I think that card is like, what do you call it? It's like Max C, but for damage.
It doesn't do anything!
Well, if I don't do anything, it doesn't do anything, yeah.
Pew pew!
I took 1,500
Pew
damage.
pew!
Oh no.
I don't get this deck. This deck is so difficult to use.
You think I get my deck?
You brought out a boss monster. I got rid of my boss monster. Wait, can I activate something? Since you're activating a card effect, right? You're activating— No, what? No!
Tribute. You're a monster.
How dare you? How dare you? Lone Fire? Yeah, no. Lone Fire is not allowed, bro.
What do you mean? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You know that card.
Wait a minute.
Bye!
Dude, I'm getting beat down.
By what, 1000? What
Well,
is this?
I
If
mean,
this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target 2 Dogmatica monsters with different levels, add one to your hand. Oh!
this is horrible.
I'm gonna add this to my hand.
Why did I sacrifice myself? Oh my gosh.
I mean, I got rid of my monster too, it's okay.
It's a little bit different. That is my trump card.
Oh, which, the big one? The Snowdrop?
Teardrop.
Teardrop, oh,
Teardrop is
right, you tributed it for no reason. Big brain.
This is rough.
1000, beat down. Pew pew.
Oh my god. Oh, here we oh wait, what's this? What's this?
You know, when I sent you a deck list, it's a guide. It's not like follow.
Tribute.
Wait, what just happened? No, okay, stop tributing my stuff!
To summon from my graveyard.
Can you not? You know what? You know
What
what?
do you have?
No. I don't have anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can only put in defense anyways. You're fine. You're fine.
What do you mean I'm fine?
Wait, why would I do that? Horrible.
Because if you tribute, you get an additional effect. If you don't tribute, you don't get that additional effect.
Wait, what was the additional effect? Was it from Recon? Was it from my field spell?
No. So, Glamour,
Yeah.
you can add 1 Recon monster from your deck. And if you tributed when you did this, you add 1 plant monster with the same original level, but a different name.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if
That's
it's in
nice.
addition. I don't know if it's a 1
Yeah,
for
it's in
2.
addition. It's in addition. It's in addition. It's 1 for 2.
Oh.
I messed up. Once again.
It's okay. Neither of us know what we're doing. We're just playing around new decks that...
Wait, I can activate this?
Activate what?
Oh, wait. It's another tribute.
I don't think I have a valuable target for this.
Okay, if I do that.
What did you do?
Grab a spell, which is Glamour, I'm assuming. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's definitely Glamour. Another one's... And then Glamour... Oh, I can only use 1 Glamour per turn. Great! I just lowered my damage. Dude, I can't do any...
I'm not letting
What
you
is
hit me. Don't touch 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 me.
Dude.
My boss monster.
Oh my gosh. Why didn't I just... Why didn't I just keep the guy in defense? Oh, I'm gonna die now. That is your boss monster?
I don't know. I think it's my boss monster. I actually don't know if it's my boss monster.
Is spellcaster that wields a sword?
You got a problem with that?
Wait, did you just gain damage?
Yeah. When a Dogmatica monster attacks, I can have all Dogmatica monsters gain 500 attack. Oh, by the way, it's permanent. So every turn it gains 500.
God. I tribute.
I swear if you no, bro, not cool. Okay, not cool. It's like you're playing Floanderees. It's my boss monster, okay, not some tribute father. Okay, your
Activate
field
small
spell.
world.
Your field spell is so dumb. Your field spell is so dumb. I'm gonna get rid of your field spell. Reveal one monster in your hand. Choose one monster that has the blah 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 blah. Vanish blah 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 blah. Reveal one monster in your hand. Choose one monster from your deck that has exactly one of the same type as their, and banish the reveal monster. Then add one that has exactly the same as the monster chosen from the deck, and banish the card chosen from the deck face down. What? Why would you run Small World? Reveal?
Oh no.
Choose one monster that matches it. You banish that face. Oh, you banish one from your hand. You add it to your hand. And then you have to banish another one? So you banish two? Is that how it works?
One sec. I'm reading. What? Why?
Yeah,
Is that the
no.
same card?
Yep.
This is dumb.
And guess
Wait.
what? Guess what?
Oh, that's GG.
Your field spell is gone! No more tributing my monsters.
That's actually GG, I think. Wait. Don't you get to summon the... Oh.
No, this is all I have. I have nothing. Your field spell is gone, but my field spell is here.
Oh my. What is that?
Neither
What
player
does
can
that
target
do?
magical monsters you control with the effects that are spell summoned from the extra deck. That's it. That's all it does.
Wait. You don't have anything?
I don't have anything. I have
What
a
does this
dead card
do?
in my hand.
What does this do?
Did you just tribute summon?
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. I got nothing.
Oh. Am I gonna beat you down? Is it my turn?
Hey, you never know, man. I'm gonna draw into something.
Well, that's you can. Huh. Interesting.
I'm breaking. Oh, this is so brutal. This is actually so
What
brutal.
the? Wait. This plus. What would that do?
Yo, did you know you can click your blue ice tablet thingy?
My blue eyes tablet? Oh, no.
I didn't know that.
Dude, I don't... This is just sad.
Hey, it's not over yet.
No, I'm saying like, I have 3 monsters in my hand, but I can't. Well, I can summon them, but they
Part
all
of the
have 0
cards.
attack.
Guide
They all have 0
me!
attack. Like I have 3 monsters in my hand, but they all have 0 attack. You know how sad that is? Oh, you finally have something.
Yeah, but I lost.
What is that?
Nothing.
Actually? Wait, what? You're attacking? Oh, you're killing yourself. Wait. Wait. What are you talking about? Unless I draw something that has damage, I can't do anything.
Dude,
Oh my
it's 200, okay? There's no way you can't inflict 200 damage to me.
Nope, I can't. I actually can't. This is how sad. Oh my. What does this do?
Oh,
So
you
can banish
banish
one
a card.
from your graveyard.
You're running way too many tech cards, I think. Thanks for banishing my boss monster, jeez.
How does this work? Oh, okay, wait, maybe I can do something.
No, 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 no. Pass turn.
Afterwards.
Oh, okay, cool. I get one turn. Where are the cards? Guide me! I draw! Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. What? You're holding on to a... Oh? Dude, it still has 0 attack. What the heck is this?
Add it to your hand. Or send it to the graveyard.
Finally, something with attack.
What are you gonna do? Wait, that's a link summon?
This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Huh. Is that it?
No, wait, 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 wait! Why can't I activate anything?
No, because it's... Dude, it says... Wait, what does it say at the very end?
Did I don't understand. Why could I activate anything?
Read it, read it.
No, 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 no. It has nothing to do with you.
Really?
Yeah.
No, 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 I don't think so. It's that card, dude. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, which mine was, this card's and any plant monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by battle. You
That has
contribute one-
but that doesn't stop me from being able to activate anything. Let's see. Ritual summon from my field. Oh. Okay, I see what happened. That's nothing to do with you. It's me being dumb.
Oh,
All right.
trust
Well,
me, I've
let's
been
see.
dumb.
Let's see. Let's see.
Dude, that was way close. Yeah, for a deck that you said this is trash. That was way closer than I thought.
You messed up many times. I lost a duel. I did lose a duel. So that means marbles are happening.
I'm in the...
If anyone would like to partake in the giveaway, please do !play. You
Nobody
have
partake.
2 minutes.
Thank you very much.
2 minutes.
2 minutes is so long.
2 minutes. All right, everyone, do !play to get a giveaway, a chance of a giveaway. Come on, come on.
I feel Ghoul coming back.
Ghoul, come on. I think Ghoul might be.
Oh,
Oh, we got Vlad.
Vlad, why?
Hey, Ghoul's back. Your chances are just getting lower by the minute.
Great.
We are on the track Pixels Procedural Juiceway. It looks
Can
like
you
a
make it
very
bigger?
short map, actually.
I don't like how it's so small.
It saves time.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Well, because
no,
it's a
I meant-
shorter map.
I meant the size of your that window. the
Finish
size
that
of the window.
sentence so you don't give people the wrong
The size
idea.
of the window.
Because, for the record, I'm above average.
Oh God. I'm talking about the window, dude.
To the wall.
The window is so small, like your window.
To the window.
The window of marbles.
To the wall.
Can you make it bigger?
Only if you rub it.
Okay, that's it. Oh my god.
No, no, no. I don't want to cover it too much. It's fine. It's fine. You know, even though my deck was terrible, I want to duel with it again.
Let's do it. One more round.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Okay.
But if I absolutely brick
But
super
I just
hard like
need,
that,
okay, I really need to learn how the ban. Why is there so many banish cards in this deck?
okay, you need to take out some of them because I actually don't think you need a lot of them. But I'm gonna take this moment to quickly
Talk about your
edit the deck.
new. I was gonna say, I'm gonna take this moment to plug Raid Shadow Legends.
Um,
Wait, did it start?
yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
what's happening, Marvels?
Right now, in first place is yourself. In second place, we have me. In third place, we have Ghoul. And wait, where is... Oh, Vlad is in fourth, but... Oh,
Yo, everyone's catching up so fast.
yeah, but this looks like a very simple map. Like, unless you hit... Oh! Oh! Everybody hit the green pillars. Slow down, man. Bro, slow down. Bro, slow down.
Speed
Why are
up.
you picking up so much speed? Oh, I think you win. This is such a boring map. There's no action. What is this?
Gotta get those
You
points.
got another giveaway point. Alright, alright. Well, a win's a win.
Wins.
A win is a win. Okay, let's duel.
Wait, what card should I take out? Oh my god.
Too late, let's go.
What do you mean?
You had all that time for marbles to go through. You should have edited your deck when that happened.
I don't know what to edit anyway. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I mean, Scrap Iron Scarecrow would be for like stalling. Stalling.
I got this. I got this.
Oh boy.
We're at one. You do negate the effect. Huh, that's a very difficult card to pull off.
It would be.
Don't tell me you've got harpies.
No.
Okay, good. Because that'd be very sad. That'd be very, very sad. Are you gonna tribute my monster? I'm not face up. I am not face up. I am not face up. I am not face up.
Great. Great. Well, that was fun.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Wait, when you put a field spell down, doesn't it destroy the other field spell?
No, they implemented a change where both you can have two field spells now.
That's dumb. Oh, this hand is rough. It's rough now because of you.
It's okay. There.
What does that do?
I'm just gonna attack you with 1,000 damage. Direct attack, 1,000 damage.
Okay, let's use this.
That is such a good card. And it's only a normal?
Yeah. Dude, that was the hardest card for me to get.
It's a normal, you can generate it.
I know, but I'm saying like
Also, it's
it was
cute.
the only card that I didn't get.
That's very
like
cute.
right away.
That card is cute.
What does this do? Oh, I see. I see.
No, 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 no. You're gonna add the field spell, aren't you?
Oh no. Does the field spell better?
I don't know.
Not bad.
Your field spell allows you to tribute my monsters once per turn. Which I find ridiculous, by the way. Unfair.
Wait, did I just tribute my own monster?
You did.
Damn it. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay, I don't know what I'm doing either.
How did it end up from 2 monsters to 1 monster and now I don't even have a monster on my field? What is this?
Take that 1,000 damage.
Dude, I'm just gonna keep taking 1k damage.
Yeah, you have 6 more turns.
Are you kidding me?
Come on, you got this.
I can do this again?
Yeah. It's
This
once
is
per turn.
continuous.
It's so dumb. Okay, you have that once per turn. You get a free monster every single turn. Kind of ridiculous.
So the field spell basically instead of using my monster, it's your monster?
Once per turn, I believe.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I do that correctly. There we go. Yeah, let's make the shiny one come out.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
No, I have 2 versions of the card. Wait. What?
What did you do?
Dude, I accidentally closed the Yu-Gi-Oh game. Can I reopen it real quick and it's still in the game? Do I have enough time?
I think so, maybe?
Okay. It's coming up. I clicked the freaking X in the corner by accident. Quick! I'm back in? Maybe? I am connecting. I'm not back in.
Does that count as a duel?
Darn it.
Does that count as a duel?
No, I'll do one more.
No, I mean, does
Oh,
that
you
count
mean-
as a that counts
you
as a
must win.
completed duel? That still counts
Yeah.
as a completed duel.
Because you
Alright.
got victory, I guess.
Yeah, we spin the wheel.
That's rough.
I
That
did
is
not
so
lose.
rough.
I did not lose a duel. I did not lose that duel.
That is rough. That's stupid. That's stupid. I was about to learn something new too.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Should I full screen so I don't... Is yours on full screen?
Mine is on full screen.
Ah, okay. That was rough. I hope that card comes up again. So I can learn what it does.
Why do I go first?
Because I get a chance.
This is a terrible hand.
I got the card again, but this is very hard to use.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna end here. What does this do?
Hmm.
I feel like these cards were so expensive and I generated them for nothing.
I bricked. You're not getting Lone Fire off. Lone Fire is too good on your in your deck.
Why? What?
Uh-huh.
That's rough.
Uh-huh. I agree. Oh. 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 Okay, I can finally do something. Send two monsters with different names from the extra deck to the graveyard. Also, you send so you can have someone from the extra deck. Ooh. Let's play. Let's play. By banishing a fusion monster from my graveyard, I can special summon this card. Really? Really?
Lol.
That's mean. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, you're just gonna beat me down again. It's
No,
fine.
no, no. I'm bringing more things out.
What the... What is that? Why is it so shiny?
Ritual summon.
Great. What?
I don't know what this does. If the opponent activates a card or effect. Right. 2,000 damage. Take it to the face.
Dude, this deck kind of sucks. If I don't get that thing out, it's actually useless. What does this do?
Take it to the face. While this card is in the field grid, I can banish this card and target one card your opponent controls shuffle into the deck. Ooh, that's pretty good. The monster equipped with this card equips card. You can trigger this card.
Dude, this is actually useless. I'm actually gonna die here. Yeah, this deck is not what it's supposed to. You sent me the worst deck I can make.
No, okay. I honestly feel like
last year or something. Like.
Okay, no. Your deck needs editing. Honestly, your deck needs editing.
Like I don't understand.
We trade accounts and we duel.
Wait, what? What did you just do?
Something very, very fun. Can you stop ruining my fun? Can you stop saying you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh?
I think this is what
Please?
this deck is.
No, it's no fun. Oh wait. What happens? Bro, can you not? Can you not?
I mean, it's all I have.
Hold on. Like, what does this do? Can send one monster from my extra deck to the graveyard, and if I do, okay, let's send that. All right, you know what?
I only have one more.
I don't like this card of yours.
Which one?
This one.
What?
Yep.
Which one?
Check your graveyard. I sent something to the graveyard.
Oh. One of them?
One of them.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Dude, it's a shiny card. It's back. Oh wait, where's that another one?
Target 4
No.
in her. Sell summon if you do banish them. Tribute from my hand. Or graveyard.
This game sucks.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh! Wait, I can do that? Yo, it's back.
This is stupid.
It's a 500 attack monster. Why are you complaining?
That's the problem. The lower the attack of the monster, the better it is.
No. The fun stuff that you keep ruining is Dogmatica Maximus. Okay, you keep ruining the fun there.
Oh my god, dude, I have nothing. I said
1, 2. Okay. We're about to have fun. Okay, you ready?
that last round.
We're about to have fun.
Oh god.
I activate Maximus's effect, please. Let's send this and that. So this and this.
Something wants us to send to the graveyard from your extra deck.
You had to send 2. You had to send 2 monsters. Gimme. Send it all to the graveyard.
Okay.
And then I activate Arclight because I sent that to the graveyard. And I activate Elder Entity because I sent that to the graveyard.
This is dumb.
Whoop. And then Arclight allows me to add something. Sure.
And you, how is this fun?
This is the best part. Dogmatica Nexus. I need to
What?
banish 4 in total of Synchro, Fusion, Xyz, or Link from either player's graveyard to bring it out.
Dude, this is stupid. Wait, that's OTK, right?
That's no, it's not OTK.
I mean, that's
That's game.
the game.
This deck is so bad. Oh, it's fun, but it's actually so bad. And I need to. I will clean up your deck for you. Okay, you have way too many hand traps that don't really apply. All right, we're spinning the wheel.
Okay, I'm done with this for today.
Or we can do a different deck. Come on.
Oh no.
Inflict effect damage. Unfortunately, I did not inflict any effect damage.
That is enough. Dude, I've been playing Yugioh the whole day. Like actually.
Alright, fine. I will go duel casual
Okay.
people with my
I was gonna say,
Dogmatica deck. Wait, it's
you
prohibited?
okay?
Why is it prohibited? Oh, right. I need to switch decks to my...
Oh, because you have cards that don't exist.
Yeah, I need to use the budget one. This is the one I was using.
Right.
Which I'm probably
Okay.
gonna lose, but...
Good luck.
Thank
Peace.
you. Bye. Alright. Let's do one more casual, and then we'll wrap it up from here. Let's go second. I need something on their field to be able to pop off the true potential of Dogmatica. I need more things in the grave, essentially. I needed to dump stuff into the grave. I'm a grave digger now. Okay. Branded in Central Dogmatica. If I ritual summon, I can look at send one monster. What is this? Oh, it's a Malefic deck! Malefic World. Okay. This is fun. This is okay. Is that a Malefic Rainbow Dragon? Wow. I'm gonna lose this battle. They don't have a lot of extra deck. If I special summon a fusion by a spell or effect, I can target that monster, gains attack, doubles attack. Okay, so I don't have a lot of out right now, but we will activate that. And then we are going to set that and that. Okay. They can't do much. That's the thing. They can't do much right now. Perfect. So, I'm going to... Can I ritual summon? From my hand or deck by attributing from my field. Oh, that is mean. That's just mean. What did they pop? What are they popping? Oh, they're popping my ritual. Oh, feels bad. I'm gonna take 4,000 to the face. I need the other ritual spell. Let me draw into my ritual spell, then I have a shot at stalling. Well, that did not help me at all whatsoever. Alright, let's see. Maybe I can draw into something. I don't know if I'll survive. Malefic's drawback is that they can only have one on their field. So it might not be too bad. What did they discard? They discarded Threatening Roar. Okay. 37, so they have an over 40. Yeah, they have over 40 cards. Over 40 is a sign of weakness. That doesn't really matter. I don't know which one you're adding, but it's not like you can summon them. You can only control one Malefic monster, I think. Oh no, yeah, I can only have one Malefic monster on the field. I just need to pop the field spell, so I'm not really too concerned. I can special summon a Dogmatica? Okay, that one doesn't even work. Is this card special summon from... Nope. This card? Yeah, that's the only card that I can think of. You can also card. There's not a lot of thing I can do here except for stall, and I don't know how long I can stall. The fact that they don't have an extra deck makes me a lot weaker. So I take 1000 damage, unfortunately. Wait, is that? Oh yeah, okay. Ow. You can banish this card and target 2 with different levels, add one of them to your hand. Sure. Let's bring that back to my hand. It's always good to have that in my hand, you know? Okay. Okay, we got rituals. We got rituals and rituals. Okay. White Knight. You can look at either your extra deck or you want to send. White Knight and White Relic. Let's try this. Okay, we're gonna ritual summon this. We're gonna send this to the grave. My continuous spell activates. And I'm gonna send Elder Entity to the grave. This card gains attack. Activate Elder Entity's effect. Pop your Malefic World. Malefic World's gone. Your Rainbow Dragon's gone too. And I think I screwed up a little bit. It has no field spell. It has no field spell! Oh! Calculated. Not really. This is pure luck. I got lucky. They didn't protect their field spell, so I ended it. Alright, that was interesting. Alright, let's take a look. See if there's going to be another giveaway happening after that duel. And the answer is inflict effect damage. I did not inflict effect damage that game. Unfortunately, that is it. I actually had a lot of fun today. Not a lot of giveaway occurred. Panda, congratulations on winning 2 giveaways today. I will most likely be back tomorrow. Until then, you know, stay safe, stay hydrated. Thank you all for your support. Really appreciate it. And that will be it for tonight. Have a good one. Bye.